What is that little thing? Should have put on some lip gloss. Do I have any? Anybody here? Is it anybody here? Let me see. Is anybody here? One person? Who is that? Who is it? I'm looking for my lip gloss. Hey, Lady Heather. I found it. Okay, I hope this hair don't drive me crazy because God knows I will snatch this wig off in the middle of this live. No, I won't. I can't do that because my my natural hair is giving me the blues. And my natural hair is in that in between stage where it's a little bit longer than what it was, like it's growing out, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I'm trying to fix this. So um yeah, I don't particularly like it. Like I'm just not feeling it right now. And I don't know what to do with it. I don't really want to go to the barber and get it cut. I hate the barber. I don't want to go to the barber shop. I'm gonna have to find some place to go to get it cut in a style, but I don't really want to go to the barber because I'm scared. I don't know. I don't like going to the barber. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna probably just let it grow out. Cause I can't trust my husband no more to cut my hair because the last time he cut my hair, I don't know what was going on with him, but he cut all these patches in my head, had me out here looking crazy, and so I don't trust him anymore. Not to do my hair. Um, no. He did me once. You know, what's that saying? Fool me once, shame on me. So when it comes to my hair, you not going to get a second opportunity to jack my hair up. So we're not doing that again. So I wanna. Oh, Lady Hathor said that title is triggering. Is it? Is it triggering? I want to know why. Like, why do people really be out here hating their parents? Like literally hating their parents. I see so many people, and it's not just people hating. Is he gonna be a distraction? You move over there, cause you so cute. You're distracting me, so I'm pretty sure you're distracting other people. Um, there are so many people out here, so many young people that hate their parents. Like, I don't see a lot of people in my age group that hate their parents or have such a huge disdain for their parents like I see people in their teens and 20. Teenagers are supposed to hate their parents. I don't know too many teenagers that, you know, did not at one time hate their parents. But when you get in your 20s and you really have an understanding that your parents did a lot of things that they did in order to help you, you should be emotionally strong enough and intellectually strong enough to understand that a lot of decisions that your parents made, they made because they probably didn't want you to get hurt or, go deal with a lot of things that they may have dealt with. So it's just interesting to me when I see so many people on social media talk about how much they hate their parents. Because I was watching, I had, and it's a turnoff for me. Once I hear you say that, hey, Moth Mama, hey, the Dark Goddess, once I hear you say that you hate the people that brought you into this world and you don't have a legitimate reason, like your reasoning is really childish, I start to lose respect for you. Like I was watching this young lady named, I think her channel is Peach McIntyre or something like that. And she is a young African American young lady. And I said she was African American because sometimes our experiences are not the experiences of our Caucasian or Hispanic or Asian counterparts. Our experiences may be different. And then they may have experiences that are different from ours. So, Peach got on live um, Saturday night, I think. It was either Saturday night or Sunday night. Like early in the morning. It had to have been like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning in Florida, because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning here, and I was still woke and just thumbing through YouTube and saw that she was live. So I clicked in, and I'm not really sure if she was having just a flat out bad day, but she just went into this um dialogue about how she dislikes her mother. And when I look at stuff like that, even if and her mother is a YouTuber also. Her mother makes YouTube videos. If me and my mother both made YouTube videos and I had a problem with my mother, no one would know. Unless me and my mother was sitting down doing a video together and we had both said, we're going to sit and talk about some of the issues that are going on, but I would never get online and disrespect my mother and tell the world that I can't stand her or that me and her are having issues. Because I'm going to tell you this, if you cannot love the two people that brought you into this world, you will have a hard time loving anyone else. Even the Bible speaks on loving and honoring your parents. If you can't fix the relationship between the two people that brought you on this planet, and I'm not saying that you have to be in their faces or you have to live with them. If you're in toxic situations, it is best to remove yourself from that situation. Let me finish this before y'all go into y'all diatribe about, well, if the person did boop, 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 and boop, 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 and boop, boop, boop. I'm not saying that you have to live with them or pay their rent or come and see them every day, but you need to heal yourself so you just do not carry that anger and hatred. Because anger and hatred for anybody is like cancer. It kills you from the inside out. You will not have the ability to love anybody else if you hate your mama and daddy. You just can't. You can't do it. You will have a hard time loving your own children. You will have a hard resolve with your own kids because the issues with your mama and your daddy is going to come up in the relationship with you and your children. And I can't see someone coming online and then, trying to tell other people what they should be doing. And that's like someone coming to your house cleaning up, and then you go visit them and they're a damn hoarder. Because I was watching this young lady, and she does videos, clean with me videos. And, mind you, she has, I think, 3 kids. One of them is autistic. So I'm pretty sure her house does stay crazy. But she's always, when she does her clean with me videos, like, girl, like, yeah, the house needs to be clean. Like, there's stuff everywhere. But she is going to other people's houses, cleaning up their houses, because she says, that's part of her ministry is to help other people. But if you can't keep your own house clean, how you going to clean up somebody else's house? You have come online and said that you basically hate both of your parents. How can you love anybody else? And has had problems with the way that her husband treats his mother, because he loves his mama. He don't have no problems with his mama. But she is jealous of the relationship that her husband has with his own mama. That's your issues spilling into your relationship. I mean, literally gets mad at her husband when he does things for his mother, because she hate her mama. So she hate her mama and want her husband to hate his mama. So what? And trust me, I do understand that it is some bad mothers out here. I have worked with the children in the foster care system, in group home systems. I understand that it is some bad parents out here. Bad. I just saw a news report yesterday where a mother with her boyfriend left her children in the house. I didn't get the ages, but I know the oldest was 15. She left 3 kids in the house, abandoned them, and one of the children was deceased in the house, had been deceased for a while, decomposing deceased, in the house with the other kids. Now, I don't know if that 15-year-old had mental health issues. The article didn't say that the 15-year-old had mental health issues, but they had been living in this house with their deceased 9-year-old sibling. I think it was another brother. 9-year-old deceased, decomposed sibling. The neighbor had complained that there was a odor. I don't know if this neighbor lived on top of them or below them, but the neighbor had complained that there was an odor coming out of the apartment, to the point where she had to turn her air conditioning off, because every time she turned her air conditioning on, she would smell the odor coming from the apartment. No one went to the house and checked. That was 18 months ago. So the 9-year-old sibling has been dead for a year, over a year. And the 15-year-old just recently called the police and was like, okay, um, my mom and her boyfriend been gone, and I've been taking care of my siblings, and one of my siblings is deceased. And so when the police did the police report, they thought that the sibling had just died. And they get to the house, and this baby been dead, they think, for a year and a half. Okay. So I know there are some crazy mothers out here. And let me tell you my story. My mother was an alcoholic. My biological mother was an alcoholic. So my aunt and uncle adopted me after my sister passed away of SIDS. My aunt and uncle adopted me because my mother was on the verge of a mental break when my sister passed away from SIDS. And they felt it was best that they take me because, they really thought my mom was going to lose her mind after my sister passed away because my father was killed while my mother was pregnant. So after my sister was born, they said my sister really looked like my dad. And, my mother, I guess, held on to her because that was her memory of my father. And then my sister died when she was either 2 or 3 months old. She died in her sleep. My mother got up that morning and my sister had passed away. And they thought that my mom was going to have a mental breakdown. But she, was, I guess, able to, I don't know, not lose her mind completely, but not be as stable as she should. So I did go and live with my aunt and uncle who legally adopted me, changed my name, did, the whole 9 yards. And my mother went on to have other children. So my mother had 3 boys after my sister passed away. One day, out of the clear blue, my mother decided that she could not take, she just couldn't deal with them anymore. It was just overwhelming for her. And I guess she had, met a man or whatever, like my brother's dad. It didn't work out between them. And so she had met some other man and decided that I'm out. I'm gonna leave these kids. And she left my 3 brothers in a house by themselves. Now, it's unknown how long my mother had been gone before my brother, who was, I think, either 8 or 9 at the time, decided to go next door and ask the next door neighbor for some milk because they had, ran out of food and he didn't have anything for my baby brother who was under a year at the time. And the neighbor was like, "Where's your mom?" And he was like, "I don't know." And so the neighbor came next door and found out that my 3 brothers were home alone. And of course, called the police. And they were taken from my mother. And I think they said she came home maybe about 2 or 3 weeks later to find the house empty. The kids had been removed. And of course, my mom was arrested on child endangerment charges. So instead of her going to jail, this was in the early 70s. Instead of her going to jail, all 3 kids were removed from her custody, and she was never to have custody of them again. Her all rights to my brothers were terminated at that time, and they grew up with their grandmother. So after that, my mother started drinking heavily, like really drinking, because she said she only needed a break. Like she didn't want to just flat out leave her kids. She just said she was overwhelmed and she just needed a break. And she didn't feel like she could tell the rest of the family like what was going on. And she said she didn't mean to be gone that long, but after she got away from the kids, she was having such a good time that she didn't want to go back. And then when she did finally go back, it was bad. They were gone. This was after years, you know after years, like I was grown. And my mom sat me down and told me what happened. So I know that there can be some bad mothers, okay? Because I didn't grow up with the best mama in the world, but I didn't hate her. I didn't hate her. I was very upset at everything that had happened, but I never hated her. And then when I got old enough to really understand and really sit down with her and talk to her as an adult and find out what really happened, and I had kids, okay? And I had a child that had ADD, ADHD. I know how difficult it can be. Sometimes you do need a break. God damn. There were so many times when, Lord knows, if I could have just walked away from them kids and nothing had happened to me, I probably would have too. So I know that single mothers need a break. But I didn't, even through all of that, I never hated my mother. Never. And I don't know if, my Christian upbringing had something to do with me being able to um, forgive, understand what forgiveness is. You know, I don't know if it was my therapy, part of that, because I did go to therapy for a while. I don't know if it was just my upbringing, the fact that my mother that raised me loved me so much that I couldn't I couldn't hate her because I didn't grow up in a terrible situation. So I didn't hate her. A lot of my childhood, I tried to block out the fact that I had a mother, but I didn't hate her. And I just, in the black community, there is such a ugly stigma around therapy because this young lady, Peaches, put up a post yesterday and asked, do black people have to have black therapists? Or can they have a white therapist? Now, I know there's a whole lot of questions I'm throwing out, and I want you guys to answer these questions in the comments. And I'm going to give you my opinion, and then we're going to talk about it. So, can black people have white therapists? Can a white therapist understand black people? Like, can a white therapist understand a a black person's feelings or situation or their life or whatever? And one person in the comments, this was the analogy that they used. You would not take a Ford to a Mercedes dealership because because so why would a black person go to a white therapist? Now, let me speak about taking your car to a dealer. The dealer, of course, specializes in the make of the car that they sell. So if it's a Mercedes dealership, Of course, they specialize in Mercedes. But a mechanic, if he is a good mechanic, he can work on damn near any car. My son is a mechanic for Ford. He owns a BMW. There is almost everything he can do on his car except for a few things. If you're a good mechanic, you can work on any car. If you understand the transmission, the engine, the brakes, the everything about the car, you can work on it. A good therapist can deal with anybody. And this young lady was like, well, our melanin makes us different. Your brain don't have melanin. The melanin protects the outer coating of the body, not the brain. And yes, black people have, experiences that white people don't have. But when it comes to therapy, they're not trying to fix you like a mechanic is trying to fix your car. A therapist is not trying to fix you. You have to fix yourself. A therapist is there to give you tools basically to fix yourself. They are there to listen to you and guide you in a direction where you can literally fix yourself or help yourself out of certain situations if you are open-minded enough to do that. If you don't believe that a therapist can help you, they can't. If you go in, a black therapist can't help you. A unicorn therapist can't help you. A magical therapist can't help you if you're not open-minded enough to want to receive that help. Let me see what some of y'all saying. So Kidders, I'm gonna go from the bottom back up. And I just saw this one. Kidder said, but isn't there a cultural difference? Of course there is. Of course there's going to be a cultural difference because we're culturally different. But on a mental level, our brains work very similar. Very similar. Our brains work. And to be honest with you, I have had a black therapist. I requested a black female therapist, and that's what they gave me. This was my first therapist. I did not like her. She was so stuck up. She was so snooty and condescending. You know, me and her didn't relate. Her whole office was, her certificates, the school she went to, all it was she tried to put herself above me. This is how I felt. Now she was black, a black woman. She wasn't too much older than me, but it just, she just came off as so bougie and above me that we didn't relate. Then I got a black male therapist. I definitely couldn't relate to him. I just didn't feel comfortable enough with him to open up. Then I got a white therapist, a older white woman, perfect fit for me. She was not condescending. She was not bougie. As a matter of fact, she was kind of like the white version of me, just older. She was kind of hippie-ish, you know. Her office was really laid back. It was really just zen, perfect fit. White, older white woman. I was able to open up to her and just really talk to her, and she talked to me like I was a human. You know, she never got big on her like her degrees weren't plastered on the wall, and she just wasn't doing too much. She wasn't pretentious, she wasn't bougie, she was just a normal person. And that was what I needed. That was what I needed. She was able to connect to me. And then when my mother passed away, um, I was referred to a grief therapist. Now, this therapist specialized in grief therapy. Young white woman. She was younger than me, fresh out of college, very nice person. We connected. She actually knew about the Orishas and everything. We connected. So I just don't believe that you have to have a black therapist as a black person. Because then, if you need a black therapist as a black person, then don't you need a black doctor? If you have a heart attack or something, are you going to stop in the middle and be like, I only want to be treated by an African American doctor? They understand my melanin. My opinion. Let's talk about it. I'm started. I don't deal with therapists. I just go to the spirits and feel so calm and relaxed afterwards. And plus, it costs free 99. It does cost free 99, but there are things that the spirits, they're not going to deal with you on. If you have some real serious issues, talking to spirit is not enough. That's that whole church mentality. When something happens to you, go to God. That's not enough for some people. It's some people out here straight suffering because they are afraid to talk to somebody about what's going on. So I don't, I'm not one of those people that say, oh yeah, well you could just talk to the spirits or talk to your ancestors. That's not enough for everybody. Some people really need to go to a therapist. They need help. It's people out here who have done themselves harm because as a matter of fact, a young lady on Facebook last week um, committed suicide. And she had been posting on her Facebook that she was overwhelmed with her two children and no one understood her, and she was sad and literally depressed. And it was people in her comments saying, oh, just pray about it, go to God. Oh, just keep praying, cousin, everything is gonna be okay. And putting prayer hand emojis, and 2 days later she killed herself. Young girl. Did you see that, Moth Mama? Young, pretty girl. Beautiful kids. Killed herself. Because people in the comments were going, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you, girl. Oh, cousin, uh, pray on it." Blah blah. Not one person told her, okay, and especially if that person was her real cousin. Not one person said, "Well, is it, let me call you," or really reached out to her and was like, "Hey, girl, what's going on?" I'm gonna tell you one time, and this ain't funny, but I'm gonna tell you what type of friends I have. One time I was having a horrible day, super bad, and I was being funny and said I should drive to the Bay Bridge and just jump off. And I know that's, something that you should not joke about. But I put like laughing emojis and a car emoji or something. And thank God I have friends that love me. It was like jumping in my DMs. What is going on with you? That's not funny. Are you okay? Do I need to come to your house? Do I need to come see you? Like, did you mean that? And I was like, no. I thought y'all knew by now that, I have a twisted sense of humor. They were like, yeah, we did, but not that twisted. Somebody should have went to see about her. When she said, I am overwhelmed. Oh, and she was like, if something happens to me, please don't let my kids go to their dad. That's real. Like, that wasn't play. That that was real. It was so real. When you're putting stuff like that on social media, somebody in her family should have saw that. And Gizmo, stop. Somebody on in her family should have saw that and um went to check on her. Lady Hathor say, I have felt suicidal before. Calling the suicidal prevention hotline helped me a lot. I'm so glad that you were able to, you had enough strength to call the hotline because a lot of people don't. And social media is a good thing, but it's a bad thing too. Because a lot of young people look at other young people's lives and think, oh, they doing so much better than me. I went back and looked at this young lady's social media, and she had like a little wax candle wax warmer business. She sold nails. She had a business mindset. She had an entrepreneurial mindset. She wasn't just like not doing anything. She looked like she was talented. Like she was selling her nails and wax warmers and, probably other stuff too. So it's not like, she didn't have any skills or she didn't have any talents. Like this young lady was talented. She was so pretty, a pretty girl. And I'm not saying that, like it's all ugly people should be suicidal. But, we look at people and we think because they're pretty, they're happy. But obviously, this young lady was not happy. She was overwhelmed. And as mothers, single mothers, we do get overwhelmed. There were a lot of times when I was overwhelmed. That was why, one of the reasons why I was in therapy in my 30s, because I was newly divorced. I was divorced in my 20s. I was overwhelmed. I had a child who had ADD, ADHD, who was getting in trouble all the time at school, and it was just too much for me. I just didn't know what to do. And I just, thank goodness I had the wherewithal to see a therapist to get some help. Because it was a time when, I look back on it now, I was drinking a little bit too much. I was functioning, I was, going to work every day, but that was part of it too. Like, not only did I have kids, but I had work. At one point, I had kids, I was going to work, and I was going to school. It was just too much on my plate. And it was depressing. It really was depressing. Like, there was a time when I really was depressed. And I'm glad that I went to therapy. I'm really glad that I went to therapy. It helped out so much because it was a lot. Single mothers are depressed. A lot of them are suffering from depression. They're overwhelmed, overworked, and overwhelmed. Yeah, right. If I didn't have the friends that I had at the time and the therapist, girl, ain't no telling where I would be. Phoenix said, I'm overwhelmed. Working, businesses, and a kid, yes. I mean, there are times now where I feel overwhelmed in this situation that I'm in. Like, we haven't found a house, and everything is like, I'm a perfectionist. I truly am a perfectionist. I like things to be a certain way, and if they're not that way, I get upset, and you know it's easy for me to slip into a depression. Very easy. I'm a very moody person. Like that, my moodiness and stuff actually came up in my reading, that I have to be careful because it's easy for me to fall into a dark place. And they say a lot of children of Oshun have those dark moods and dark thoughts and, dark periods in their lives. And we have to be really careful and keep our heads clean. And when I say clean, I don't mean shampooed, I mean spiritually clean and spiritually light, because those things affect us from the head, which is, the mind, your brain. So we have to constantly be working to keep those things from pushing us into a depression. Those things came up in one of my first readings. And it's a certain level of being overwhelmed is normal as a parent, especially as a single parent. If you don't have another person to help you with that load, you're carrying not only your shit, but your kids' shit, your work shit. Everything is piled onto one person. And yes, it is overwhelming. And if anyone tells you that it's not, they're lying. And that's the part of social media that we see. We see perfect. We see touched up, airbrushed, photoshopped pictures of each other. Even I photoshop my pictures. Okay? I'm 57 and I photoshop my pictures because I don't want people to see, you know, I don't want to put all of my flaws and stuff out there for the world to see. So yeah, I put filters on my pictures and stuff. And so, of course, women in their 20s, we are living 20s and 30s, we living in that era of get your body done. You better snap back quick. If you ain't snap back the day after you have your baby, you know what's wrong with you. And men only want women with big booties and flat stomachs and big titties and all of that kind of stuff. Like that puts a lot on young girls and women. You just out here stressing because your body don't look like Nicki Minaj's or Cardi B's, and you don't have a Birkin, and I didn't snap back fast enough. My body never snapped back. Never. It didn't snap back. There was no snap back for me. It didn't come back after neither one of my kids. And I am so glad that I didn't grow up in the social media that we have now. Because I would have been even more stressed out. Y'all got to lay your lace fronts right. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to pick your titties up. You got to make your butt stick out. You got to wear a waist trainer. You got to squeeze everything in. You got to wear girdles and this and that. God damn, that's enough to stress out anybody. That's enough for you to be stressed out. It's so much going on. And then we're out here trying to live up to other people's expectations. And then you don't want to get no help because your therapist ain't the same color as you. Then you done tacked on another problem. You done gave yourself another problem. I don't want to go to therapy because I can't find a black therapist, so I ain't going to therapy. Because I ain't going to let no white person talk to me. They ain't going to understand me anyway. You didn't even give them a chance to understand you. You didn't even try. And a lot of people don't understand that a therapist ain't going to fix you. You're not going to drive into therapy and they take off the flap and then go in there and just fix everything and then you drive out. That's not therapy. They're not going to fix you. They have to give you some tools to help you fix yourself. It just don't work like that. You're not going to drive in. Therapy is not therapy is not like when you go to get your oil changed. You don't just drive up, pop the hood, they get up under your car, do what they gonna do, and then you pay the dude, you drive off, and you're good for what, 200,000 miles? No, not 200,000, huh? 10,000 miles? However long a damn oil change thing lasts, 10,000 miles or 5,000 miles or whatever. No, you got to put some work in. You got to get up under the car with the therapist and put some work in. And at that point, while you really putting some work in, are you really going to look at them and say, Damn, I wish she was black. No, you're not. You're not. Are you? Because some of y'all might. Yeah, it would be great, Yvonne. It would be perfect. That would make it so much easier. But it's not. Aquarius Star said the people ain't even living up to those same expectations. You're right, Queen. It's hard and sometimes very overwhelming and life altering. No, they're not. The people that we look up to, the Cardi B's, look how unhappy Lizzo always is. Every 2 or 3 months, Lizzo get online crying because somebody done hurt her feelings because she's not as proud of being fat as she said she is. And to me, Cardi B has never looked happy. Never. She looked happy when her first song did well. She looked happy then. But since then, she has never looked happy to me. There has always been a dark aura around Cardi B. I've always seen it. I've never not seen it. Cardi B has never looked happy. What is that girl's name that she posted a picture today on um, the Shade Room? And she didn't even look like her damn self. She done had her whole face altered. She looked like a totally different person. Oh, Phoenix said Cardi has the gangbanger glow. Yeah, Cardi B's problem is Offset. That's her problem. He is definitely her problem. K Michelle. K Michelle. K Michelle don't even look like herself no more. She don't even look like herself. She looks like a totally different person. And she was pretty to begin with. That's the sad thing. Like a lot of these people don't even realize that they're pretty. And because they don't feel like they living up to people's expectations, they go and change the way they look. Now, K Michelle, I'm gonna tell you what happened to her. When Idris Elba did not marry her, when they broke up and he married that other girl, had a baby by her, and married her, that did something to K Michelle. I mean, that hurt her deeply. And she was not able to recover. She could not recover from that. Idris broke her. You know, there's always gonna be one man that we want so bad, and when we don't get him, we change our whole life. We just either you will change for the better or you will change for the worse. But you change your whole who you are so that you're no longer that person because that person is so hurt that you can't even relate to her. K Michelle changed who she was completely as a person. And I'm pretty sure she let that person that Idris Elba hurt, she let that person die. She turned into a whole nother woman. And it's sad. Like I feel bad for her. Because and she still don't look happy. After she done had all this work done on her body, her face, and everything, she still don't look happy. Because it don't matter what you do to this on the outside. If you're not happy on the inside, you still gonna be jacked up. I can go and get my nose reduced. I can get my breasts lifted. I can get injections in my butt, even though I don't need it, because I got a butt. Okay? Now I got a stomach, but I got a big butt. My butt's still cute. But I can go get liposuction in the chin and liposuction in my stomach. But if my mind is not right, I'm still not gonna see a beautiful woman. That's why you gotta see a beautiful woman in this. In my 240 pounds. I got to see beauty in all this. Because if I don't, it doesn't matter what I do. I'm still not going to be beautiful to myself. No matter how much money I put into it, how many crunches I do, how many exercises, how much I walk, lose weight. If I don't think I'm beautiful, I'm not going to be beautiful. Period. And that's what a lot of y'all don't understand. What about Meg the Stallion? No, Meg the Stallion is not happy either. She wants to be happy, but she's not happy. Meg the Stallion is not happy. I've never seen I've never seen a bright aura around Meg the Stallion either. Meg the Stallion to me is in the same boat as Cardi B. They're both trying, you know. Of course, they want to be successful, and in that wanting to be successful, you'll do anything because you're not, you've never been happy. And Meg, a lot of her unhappiness, I think, stems from the fact that she lost both of her parents. There is a lot of, there is a lot of hurt and pain when we lose our parents early. When we don't have that family connection that we desire, when that's not there, we not right. Oh, and her grandma too? Yeah. And I don't think she healed from that. And I don't care what man you get, if you miss your mama and your grandmama, you ain't right. It's days when I'm happy as hell with my husband. Like I love him, he loves me, he's a great person, but he can't replace my mama. Like my mom's birthday was yesterday. It took everything I had not to be upset. And my husband is a sweetheart, but he can't replace my mama. So no, I've never seen um I just don't. Meg just doesn't, she's never really looked happy to me. One celebrity that I really think is happy and her aura seems bright is Zendaya. Like she seems like she likes herself. And she doesn't seem like, thank you, Moth Mama. She doesn't seem like she has allowed her celebrity to overshadow who she really is at her core. You don't really hear a lot about her. You don't see her um oh, I just bought a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini, or you don't see that in her. Yeah, and that Yara, I can't pronounce her last name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she seems very balanced, you know, like her parents really took care of her. And I'm not blaming Meg. I'm just, saying sometimes when you have these problems in your family, Shahidi, Shahidi, okay. Sometimes when you have these type of problems in your family, if you don't take care of those problems, they just become bigger problems. I like Issa too. Issa seems she seems pretty balanced. And she seems like she's trying her best to stay that way and not get off into this big the Hollywood thing, because let me tell you this also. you know we like to watch YouTubers. um I love to see, yes, Snoop Dogg did lose his mother. It looks like she was sick, or she had been sick. I like to see YouTubers who are up and coming. But when they get there, on their rise up and start to make money, then they start to become not as relatable to us normal people. Like, a lot of people forget where they come from. A lot of people do. Sierra seems happy. Beyonce, Beyonce, the only reason why I would say yes for Beyonce is I do think that Beyonce is more of a spiritual person than we get an opportunity to see. I don't think that I think that even though Beyonce is rich, she still understands that money is not everything. I think Beyonce has, in the past couple of years, have tapped into her spirituality a little more. And I think that is helping her stay balanced. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these other celebrities, is they have nothing to help them balance themselves out. They're not into anything. So they don't have anything to help them. Yeah, Beyonce has a lot of, you have to have a lot of discipline to be at the level of an entertainer that she is. You have to have a lot of discipline to tour. You know what I mean? To tour and to practice and to train, to do all of those things. You have to have a lot of discipline, because you know, she's looked at with a fine tooth comb. She's under the microscope. Everything she says, everything she does, everything she wears, her children going out in public, her husband, just everything is scrutinized. You have to have someone to help you balance yourself out when you're that level of a celebrity. I think that was part of Michael Jackson's problem, is he didn't have that. He was just all over the place. He had his own issues with his looks and everything that he had held on to from a very small child. And, all of those things just spiraled out of control. And if you don't have someone to help you, you don't have that balance, you're not connected to source, you out. That's what happens to a lot of these celebrities who, get into positions where they, have addictions, and their addictions sometimes lead to their death. They have no connection to source. They have no one that they feel like they can, really talk to, no one that they feels like really understands them on the level where they are. And I just feel like, rappers like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, they know that they have a short shelf life. Female rappers, I believe female rappers have a shorter shelf life than male rappers. And if they're not doing anything to secure their future, this, you got to be hustling, we have put this mentality into people that, this whole, you can sleep when you dead. If you're alive, you should be hustling, which is stupid. You have to sleep. You have to sleep. Your brain has to have so much time to turn itself off and relax and heal. That's what keeps you young and rejuvenated. And if you don't have that, you will go crazy. You know what I mean? You can easily fall into a depression and be mentally ill if you're not giving your brain a chance to relax. Days that I don't feel like coming online, I don't. If I don't feel like talking to people, I won't. I'm not going to push myself and overload my brain because, you know, oh, you got to be grinding. You got to be doing this. You got to be doing that. You can sleep when you're dead. Hell no. When I get tired, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's initiated into something. Lukumi, Santeria, something. She's had some type of yeah, I'm glad she has her sister, and I'm pretty sure um that's not the only people that she has. She probably has a very good therapist, you know, very good godparents, people that help her spiritually and keep her grounded. So let's talk about that young lady also that married, before we get off here, that married her 61-year-old godfather. He was either in his he's either in his 50s or his 60s. He looks late 50s to me. Let me see if I can find a picture of them. He looked late 50s. So this is going on now on social media. Um, Let me see if they posted the picture of him holding her when she was a baby, because it's so many pictures of them. Well, this is them here. The one in the white is the husband. 18 years old, and I'm pretty sure he's in his 50s. Now, I know that a lot of older men are attracted to younger women. And I think it would be different if he wasn't her godfather. If he wasn't the person that basically helped raise her. I think it would be so much different. But this man is her godfather. He's been in her life since she was a little girl. Not only that, he's been in a relationship with her mama. Her mama got online and said that they had smashed, him and the dude had smashed right before they got married. Now, the mother said that she did not raise the young girl, that she was adopted because the mother said that she was on drugs and that she's done some time in jail. So this man has, I guess, been in the girl's life all her life. And he waited until she turned 18 years old to marry her. And everybody on social media has been talking about them. And they said they about to get a YouTube channel so that people can follow their story, since people are so interested in their life. So, the young girl, she's a spicy little thing. She gets on social media and she's telling people, y'all talking about me because y'all jealous. Y'all jealous because he married me and he didn't marry you. You only talking about me because you're jealous because you want him. And people are like, sis, don't nobody want him with honey, they living it up on social media now. They out here making people hot. This girl is 18 years old. She is still a teenager. 18. And she done married this old man because for her, he is old. You know? And I do believe that he has groomed her. He has groomed her, and he just waited until she was of age, and then he married her. It's sad because y'all know this ain't gonna work, right? This not gonna work. And their videos are so cringy, because he looks like he is old enough to be her father. And he just looks like her dad. It's just crazy. And her mom, the young lady's mother, is, of course, on social media just going in. I mean, some of the things that, the mother has said have been sad. Oh, here go the picture. Look at that. That's her when she was a baby, and that's the two of them. A baby. A baby, baby. But it's one of those situations where her mother is online calling her a bunch of bees, and it's just one of those situations. The mother is like, don't ever talk to me again. Like, this whole family needs to be in therapy. They all need help. Because this young lady is going to wake up one day and be like, why did I marry his old ass? 18? 18. How much longer is she going to want to be with a damn near 60-year-old man? And she 18. 18, I didn't even find men at 18, I didn't even find men in their 30s attractive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure her mother is hurt because her mother said, I didn't agree with this marriage. I wasn't there. The mama said she wasn't even at the wedding. She said she didn't agree with it. She wasn't there. She wasn't going to that mess. Nothing. So the look like this gonna be an ongoing saga because they be going live on Instagram, doing videos together. They're so cringy, super cringy videos where it's just the girl on there popping off because she's young and hood, and some people saying he's 61, some people saying he in his 50s. Right. Like, by the time she turned 21, in 3 years, 18, 19, yeah, 3 years, she gonna be wanting to go out, and he already looked like he got the gout. He fat, out of shape. He don't look healthy. So she's gonna want to go out and hang out with her friends, and hot girl summer. If it's gonna be, well, by next year it's gonna be something else because it was hot girl summer this year. Next year to be some other term. Whatever it is, she gonna want to do that, and he's gonna want to have to stay home and take his arthritis medicine. I'm in my 50s, and there is no way in hell. It's gout. Gout. There is no way in hell I would want to go to anybody's club in my 50s. For one thing, I'm not going to squeeze these little arthritic toes into no heels and these bad ankles. Okay? My ankles retired when I did. And these little arthritis toes that I have, they're not squeezing into no cute shoes no more. My toes have retired to Crocs. And, well, I could put some bling on my Crocs and wear them to the club. But what I'm not gonna do at 57 is squoze myself into no Spanx and nothing else. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to force myself into some Spanx, to look all cute. No, I'm not doing all that. And I have to take my medicine at a certain time. I'm on a schedule. I gotta take my Benadryl at 11 so I can go to sleep. And I can't be at the club drinking Hennessy and popping Benadryls. Then someone's gonna have to carry me out. I'm not doing all that. I'm too old for that shit. I did that when I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm not doing it in my 50s. Hell no. I want to sit at home and crochet. I want to watch YouTube videos. I want to lay up in my bed on my squishy mellows. I don't want to be out at the club. The music is too loud. It's too loud for me. It's too much. I get overwhelmed. If I would go to a club now, I will feel like I'm autistic. It's gonna be too many sounds and lights and booming and people. I would probably freak out. They would probably have to give me a Xanax or something. That is for young people. Wait a minute. My my husband's cousin had his kids over here today, and they are 4 and 6. This little boy was listening to YouTube videos on his phone. He had that volume turned up so loud, and I wasn't even in their presence that long. I literally thought my head was going to blow up because I can't take a whole lot of noise. I can't. It's too much. So I know I can't go to no club. And I be done drunk something and it shit be done upset my stomach. I get the vomiting all over the place. And they gonna be like, who brought their grandma? Then my wig, after, I can't keep these wigs on for too long. They start to bother my head. I be done sat there and snatched it. One time we were on our way back from Sacramento. And I was cute. I had my little wig on and had my little cute dress on. Honey, that wig started to dig into my scalp. And before I knew it, I done snatched that wig off in the car. And my husband was just like, you all right? I was like, I am now. I can't do it. I just cannot. I would so much rather be at home in my bed with my dog and a blanket and a pillow crocheting than I would at anybody's club. Like, his ass is too old to be hanging out. And one of his pictures, he got on some skinny jeans that are not skinny. He was trying. And he just looked a mess. Like, old men to me look stupid trying to be young. You look dumb. You're not young. We can all tell you're old. So, honey, she ain't gonna stay with him for long. She gonna wake up and be like, "Wah." And I bet you he snore. Oh, hell no. When I was 18, ain't no way in hell. Mm-mm, mm-mm. When I was 18, I liked 18, 19, 20. That was it. I wasn't going too much farther than that. Not at 18 because I knew I couldn't get in no clubs and all of that kind of stuff. So I had to stick to boys my age. So we could do age appropriate things. We were going to the movies. We were going to the arcade. This girl, 18 years old, with a man on Social Security. Girl, hell no. Yeah, her husband and her grandfather or her father are friends. You a date up to 65? I'm 57. I don't know. He would have to be a good looking 65. I mean, I have a husband. If I wasn't married, he would have to be a good looking 65. Because me and my husband, we're the same age. Like he couldn't be a sickly old man with gout and diabetes and high blood pressure and taking 50, 11 dozen medications, and then I gotta help you with your med. I ain't doing all that shit. Yvonne said, okay, I'm gonna go there and say it. What's she gonna do when the pencil no longer has lead in it? Not everyone can take stuff. Right. Because if you have like diabetes and high blood pressure, I don't think you can take those medicines. I don't think you can. You know what she gonna do? She gonna cheat. She gonna be with somebody. She gonna be with somebody her age. When the pencil stop writing, she gonna go find another pencil. Cause there's too many pencils out there. It's too many pencils out there. And she already talking about dudes be sliding in her DMs. She already talking about men be trying to holler at her. And I know they do because she's a pretty girl. Yeah, Genuine look good, but he is starting to look more of his age though. He still look nice, but he's starting to look his age. But this dude don't look good in his 50s. Her husband don't look good to me. But to each his own. I've seen some good looking older men, but older men did not become attractive to me until I was older. When I was 18, when I was like 18, it wasn't no good looking older men. They just were not attractive to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't look at an older man and think, oh yeah, I want to be with him. No. Mm-mm. And for some crazy reason, older men were always attracted to me. But I was never attracted to them. Like, I don't want your old ass. Well, somebody gonna catch her. Cause I'm pretty sure she gonna be cheating. Oh, Phoenix said the older I get, the lower my age threshold gets. I don't want no damn near 50-year-old man unless it's Method Man. I mean, I like men my age. Like, I think if I was single, if I was a single woman, I don't think I would go under 40. I wouldn't want no young, like I wouldn't want no man in his 20s. Not in my 50s. Yeah, Method Man look good. But that's just me. Because I know these 20 something year old, these 30-year-old men are crazy. Yeah, if he an old man, and that's the thing too. If he an old man, you gotta have something. You gotta have some money, car, something. And he don't look like he got nothing. Look like they live in the projects. And I ain't talking about the projects, but I'm like, damn, if you 18 and you messing with a man in his 50s, he should have something to offer other than his pencil. You like in your 50s and you no. Girl, me too. If something happened to my husband, that's it. I'm just going I ain't doing it no more. Because I'm not trying to it's too hard to find men. And I'm not going I didn't got my husband where I really like him. You know, I didn't got used to his quirks. He's gotten used to mine. I don't want to deal with that again. My patience, I don't think is set up to work with another man like that. I done got used to all his little quirks. He has gotten used to mine. I mean, it is some things that still irritate the hell out of me, like him shedding all his hair in the shower. Like, how do you lose that much hair in the shower? Like, my husband is one of those hairy black people, like super ass hair. But how do you lose that much hair in the shower? Like body hair. How does all of that body hair fall off of you in the shower? Yeah, he still got his locks too. But it's not he don't wash his locks every time he take a shower. But I swear to God, every time he get out the shower, I can literally build me another husband with the hair that falls off of him in the shower. And I swear to God, he don't see it. But I've gotten used to that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even freak out at it and say anything to him about it like I used to. I just clean it up. But at first, it used to bother me. So I get used to the little things he do. Sometimes he's shaving and hair will fall in the sink or whatever, and he'll swear to God he ain't left no hair in the sink. A few times I've taken pictures of it to prove, no, you did. Because he'll gaslight me and be like, I ain't leave no hair in the sink. I cleaned up behind myself. I always clean up behind myself. And I will take pictures. No, you didn't. You left this. But I done got used to it. I don't want to do that with anybody else. So if something happened, I don't want another husband. It's a lot that goes into um, living with another person. It ain't just their personality that you have to get used to. You got to get used to their quirks and all that. Yeah, like, goddamn, how do you lose that much hair? But he got a lot of it. He just has a lot of body hair. And see, we're the exact opposite. I'm one of them hairless cats. Like, I don't have no body hair other than my head. I don't have a lot of body hair. Oh, you haven't dated? Girl, we all getting older. Chili and T-Bars, they in their 50s. Yeah, we all getting older. Yeah, girl, you have to constantly be cleaning up behind a man. And if you're not ready to do that, then don't get married. Because it seemed like my husband will drink out of a water bottle and just leave it and swear to God that wasn't his water bottle. Blame it on Gizmo and everything. Oh, I thought that was yours. No, I have mine. That's yours. That you left on my nightstand. Oh, just crazy stuff. Crazy. And if yeah, like Gizmo does drink bottled water, but like we have to give it to him. He's not he doesn't have like his own, oh, let me drink some water. No. I pour bottled water into his bowl. He drinks bottled water. But he don't like go in the refrigerator and get his own bottled water. Like, oh God. But that's, things that you have to deal with when you have a husband. You know. Thank God I don't have any kids. My kids are grown. So the only person that technically I have to take care of is him and Gizmo. Dang, Aaliyah would be 42? Yeah, I guess so, because yeah, yeah. Oh, I ain't going to tell y'all what I'm going to be for Halloween. I got my costume. I got my costume. Oh, Harley Quinn. I don't know who Prudence is, the Mad Hatter. Halloween is 4 days away. Lady Heather said I bought a witch and a zebra costume. Oh, we should have a costume party. We should we should all get on Zoom. Who wants to set up the Zoom and send the links out to everybody? We should have a costume party on Halloween. And I'll be the main one to say, "Oh, let's do it," and I'll be the one that don't show up. I'm that friend. I am that friend. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I am that friend that will be like, "Oh, let's do this," and help everybody set it up and everything, and then don't show up. Sorry. I'll be there. Let's do it on Halloween. Who wait, y'all got kids? Ain't trick or treat but isn't trick or treating canceled again this year? Cause wasn't it canceled last year? My mother-in-law said our lights are gonna be off. Well, no one came last year, and we didn't see any kids. Did my husband work last year? I know he not working this year. Um, I think last year was canceled because of COVID. I mean, I do want to see little kids. Oh, y'all doing it in New York? Maybe it ain't canceled then. Maybe it's not canceled. Oh, see, the only thing is we're all on different time zones. But so what? Let's still do it. Let's figure out. Let's figure out a time that we could all come, and then we could Zoom and we could show each other our costumes. Oh, y'all doing the drive-through trick or treating? What is it called? Trick or trunking or something? Trick or trunk. Something like that. That's what the churches call it. Where you decorate the trunk of your car and then you pull up to the church parking lot and everybody decorate like the trunk of their car and the kids can come by and get candy. Trick or trunk. Something like that. Dang, Aaliyah been gone 20 years. Trunk or treat. It's something like that. We should go to San Francisco because and me and my husband have never did it. San Francisco has huge um has this huge, well, I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna have this party, but they usually have like this big, I forgot what it's called. It's called something. It's this big Halloween thing. So I'm pretty sure they won't have that. But usually people are walking around in San Francisco in their costumes and stuff. If the weather is not bad, we may go and just drive around. Oh, really? I don't know. Lately it hasn't been raining on Halloween. Now this weekend it may be because let me see what the weather is going to be because it was raining yesterday. Where's my weather thing? Oh, is that here? No, that ain't it. Damn. It was raining yesterday. This thing don't have the weather. Just search. I don't know why it can just give me the weather for the rest of the week. Damn it, I don't want that. Just show me the weather for the weekend. Why they want you to search in the app? I don't want to do that. I hate this. I hate Android phones. Now I see why everybody um I wouldn't have as much problems with my iPhone. Just search using Google, please. Oh no, it's not gonna be raining this weekend. It's gonna be 64 degrees. So maybe we'll go to San Francisco and look around. Just drive around and look at people in their costumes. Okay, I'm finna go, y'all. I didn't talk till my mouth done got dry. Wow, this will be your first time going to a Halloween party? Yeah, I ain't going to no Halloween thing. I don't trust nobody. I ain't got too old for that. I can't run. You know what I mean? I can't get out the way. If something stupid happen, I don't trust none of these people. So I ain't going to no Halloween party. Did somebody just come in the house? Damn. That garage door be slamming hella hard. All right, y'all. I'm talked out. I got 2 reviews I gotta do. I'm gonna put them up um maybe tomorrow. If anything interesting happen, I'll do a live tomorrow. Or is my TV stuck? What the hell? Um, if not, maybe we'll talk about Arisha stuff tomorrow. Cause we ain't talked about that in a while. So maybe we'll do an Arisha video tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for staying with me for 106 minutes today. We had a good conversation, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.